Welcome back, Mindsetters. I hope you're having a great session with us. Like we're having fun. Make sure that you guys have your pens and pads out and you guys are making notes. And I always stress, guys, keep talking to us on the Facebook page because if you don't talk to us, we can't help you. But on that note, I'm loving what's happening anyway. So Mindsetters, keep talking. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to give it over to Mr. Liu, who's going to take it over.
We're back. Now, I went to go have a look at some of these questions that are sending in, and you guys are very smart. I mean, you're starting to bring in big things in, and the questions that are being asked are big names and funny-sounding names. So I promise I will get there. I will not leave you in the lurch, and I promise you, hopefully we can understand it by the end, okay? Right now, one of the questions we received, should I say, is if you bilaterally symmetrical, that means you can cut yourself in half, and yes, you'll have two halves, right? They'll be identical on the outside. Remember, I'll have a leg on the side, a leg on the side, arm the side, arm the side, down the middle of the nose, a nostril the side, eye. So you see how you will be in half. You won't be able to survive, but you'll be in half. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. Now, before the break, we had a look at this, right? And remember, this is how single cell, and we carry on going, and they multiply into lots of cells, and then the cells start differentiating and moving across, and then we get into the three layers, which is your ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm, right? Now, what I've done, I didn't want to confuse you guys too much. So what I did was, I thought of being a little bit smart. Hopefully I am, okay? So I've put that into, into a nice little spreadsheet for you. So have a look at this. We have an egg and we have a sperm, right? And they come together. Let's get some yellow going in here. So they come together. There we go. And they fertilize, which means they come together and they become one cell. They go through this big word that says mitosis. So they go through cell division and they get more and more and more cells, right? And they become multicellular, right? Once they are multicellular, it's just a big ball of cells, right? Once they are multicellular, we start looking at going into those different levels. Remember I told you you're going to get the ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm, right? Now they start looking at what type of organism is it, okay? You get two types at the moment. We're having a look. Let's go to this side, which is my left, right? Sorry. We go to the left, and you've got this two-layered organism, okay? It's diploblastic. Dip meaning two, and then blastic is the layers, right? So you get a diploblastic organism. Two layers. Remember I said some of them have two, some of them have three. And on the other side, this side, we have the three-layered, which is three as in trip. I'm sure you guys know about sports, so triple jump, okay? 3 layers. Trip, blastic, 3 layers. We're all happy? I'm hoping that'll help you. Now, the nice part about it is I've broken it up into parts where we can actually see what is going on. There we go. Okay. I've just told you, or I've written down what each layer is actually going to become. Okay, so if I had to take it, we have the ectoderm, and the ectoderm becomes the outer covering, right? So here we go. I'm going to draw it here. We have an outer covering on both sides. Let's make it look like this. I'm just going to do this, even though it's not really like that. But we have the outer covering, which is cool, right? And then let's go to right down to the bottom, okay? And at the bottom, we have our endoderm, which is lining the digestive system. Okay, so let's line the digestive system. As humans, we'll make it, let's get there, over there. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to, over there, and that's going to be our anus. And over here, that's going to be our mouth. And if you have a look at it, it lines this piece all the way to there and all the way to there. There we go. Can you see now we actually divided into 2? Okay, but remember we are cylindrical in shape. So we are still joined right round. But we've got this huge thing down the middle, okay? And we have this covering over here because they're together. There we go. So I'm just going to dot it up. There we go. So hopefully that's going to help you. Now we get the middle piece. Now the middle piece, yeah, is the muscles, okay? Everything between the digestive system, which is this part. So let me change pen so we can actually see what's going on. It's this part is your mesoderm. Okay? That's the mesoderm. Okay? So it's the muscles between the digestive tract and outer layer. Okay? So it doesn't matter how many cells are found in the mesoderm. It doesn't matter how many cells are found in your ectoderm. It doesn't matter how many cells are found in your endoderm. All it is that the endoderm makes the real inside. Okay? The ectoderm does the outer covering, so the skin, hopefully that's going to help you. And then you get your mesoderm, which is going to be your muscles and all of those things. So in that order, that is your 3 layers. Okay, this thing is a diploblastic. I've put 3 arrows. Okay, now that must tell you something. If I tell you that it's diploblastic, we're going to be missing something. Now, can I be missing the middle, so the inner part? So can I be missing this part here? To me, that doesn't make sense. But I'm sure I'll explain it to you, but you can't be missing that piece, okay? And you can't be missing the outer piece, because then there'll be nothing. If there's no outer piece, and we'll look at the next piece, but then that becomes the outer piece, so we'll move on. So it doesn't work. So we've definitely got the outer piece, and we definitely have to have the inner piece, right? So we're going to have a look at messing or changing this part. This is the part that they don't have, or they have something, but it's not the same as muscles and all of that. Okay, that is why they are diploblastic. It's 2, they've got 3 because they've got skin, they've got muscles, and they've got a digestive tract. Hopefully that helps you. Okay, now that is the next part. We had a look at the symmetrical, right? And now we had a look at whether they diploblastic or triploblastic. Okay, that's the next part. So that puts them into phylums, right? Body cavities. Body cavities. Now, that sounds quite strange. Now, during the break, I had a look, and somebody was asking about a coelom. Now, coeloms, okay, we're getting to this now, coeloms. Now, that's a big word. It's spelled completely not like it sounds. Am I right, Ty?
Yes. It looks way weirder than it's said.
Yes, it's terrible. Okay, but let's have a look at it. Body cavities. Now, body cavities is a cavity inside the body. It's fluid filled, means it's filled with a liquid. Okay, and some animals have it and some animals don't. And if you have a look at it, there it is. Body cavity is fluid filled space that lies between the digestive tract and the outer body wall. This is called there it is, coelom. Okay, the coelom is that bag. It's a nice way to look at it, a bag. Okay, now we need to find out what this bag actually does. Okay, now if we have a look at it, in diploblastic animals, okay, they do not have this bag. They do not have the coelom. So there we go. Now we've chucked out diploblastic animals. Now we're only going to look at triploblastic. So diploblastic, put it one side. They no longer, we're not going to look at them anymore. They're their own little animals by themselves, right? Now we're going to have a look at the triploid animals, and then I'm going to fool you and say there's 2 types. There is ones that are true, they've got true coeloms, okay? And we call them coelomates, okay? Let's change the color of the pen. I'm getting bored with pink at the moment. We're getting coelomates. Now, your coelomates have a true bag, okay? I'm going to explain just now what true bag actually means, okay? And then you get, which is quite cool, coelomates, then you get this big word. Now, that is a big word, isn't it? There it is.
Where to start? I'm not even quite sure. Do I start from the S or do I start from the P? Or
start from the S.
Okay, I think this is where the part where I give up while I'm still ahead.
Pseudomate. Now, that there, this word, this part here, okay, just this little piece here, Pseudo. That means false. Okay, so it's a false coelomate. If you have a true if you've got a true coelom, you called a coelomate. So let's do this. Coelomate. And no, don't do that. Coelomate. There we go. And I can take that whole word, and there it is. There's the line. There's the line. So it is coelomate means it's got a coelom. Pseudo-coelomate means false coelomate. It's not a true coelomate. Okay, now that just means that we had the diploblastic animals. Can you remember them? They are like this complicated. And then you're going to get the false coelomates, which is like this much complicated. And then you're going to get the coelomates, which is like this much complicated. Right. It's nice and easy. It's not that difficult. So we're just dividing them into different groups, right? Now, if I have a look at it, I've made it nice and easy. What are they? A coelomate. A means does not have a coelom. Now watch this carefully. I've done this for a nice reason. Okay? If you have a look at it, there's the ectoderm. Okay? There we go. I'm sure you can all see that. Right? Then you get the endoderm, which is over here. It's digestive tract roundabout. It's not really a digestive tract, but it's there. Right? And then you get the mesophyll. Right. We're all happy. It doesn't have a coelom. It's just got the organs in the middle there, in the mesoderm. Okay. Now, the next one is your false coelomate, pseudocoelomate. Now, how does that look false? Now, one thing you must look is that the reason why they have a coelom, okay, actually they don't have a skeleton. Okay, so you've got your bones, right? They don't. They've actually got that fluid-filled bag, right, that actually gives them a hydroskeleton, okay? Hydrostatic pressure, which gives them a skeleton. There we go. So gives them a skeleton using hydrostatic pressure. Okay, that means the pressure on the inside is the same as the pressure on the outside, so it makes it nice and strong and hard and solid. That's quite cool, right? That is their skeleton, okay? And it lacks an endothelium lining. That is the big thing. Lacks the endothelium lining. Okay, now, watch this carefully. You get your ectoderm. You all got it. There it is. This ectoderm. You've got the mesoderm. Now, have a look how these cells are just there. The cells are just roundabout all over the... Well, it's in a circle, but the cells end, and then straight after that, you have this section here, which is your bag. Okay? It's your false coelom. Now, there's no lining that actually makes it true. To have a true coelom, you've got to actually have a lining of cells making your coelom, right? So that's very difficult. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on to the next one and come back up, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay? The next one is our coelomates. There we go. Now, I've got a person taking off, and they've just taken the part of his back, right? As you can see, it's this piece here, and it's come through. Now, watch carefully. This blue structure, this blue, let me see if I don't want to use blue there as well. It's green. If I take this structure here, look at the blue structure, okay? You see how that is actually a bag? You all see it? Then, this part, right? If you have a look at it, these are the organs. This is an organ. This is an organ. This is an organ, right? Now, those organs, if you have a look, have a blue line on the outside of them. So they've got this blue line here as well. Now that blue line is the lining of the coelom, right? Which makes it a true coelom. Okay? Did you see the blue line? Now watch carefully. Let me bring this down again. Can you see the blue line? You can't see it. Now, if you notice, there is the blue, right? Pull it up. Wrong way. There is the blue. You all see it? Okay, now, last one. Acoelomate, which means doesn't have a coelom. Where's the blue? you're going to say over here, but remember, it's got to be between the endoderm and the exoderm. Okay, so this one doesn't have a coelom. That one has a false coelom because it doesn't have an inner lining, right? And then the third one, you can see the inner lining over there. It's actually nice and clear, which is quite cool. Now, where do we get this? What I've done, chicken. Chicken is the coolest thing out. If I tried, I really did. I tried to get a picture, and I didn't think about cutting a chicken. But what I've done is I've taken a chicken, okay, and you can actually go do this, and you can take a chicken before your mother cooks it, right? You know, you get those flatties where the legs come out like that. Hey, Ty, you know what I'm talking about?
No,
Right?
definitely.
Cut the whole chicken down the middle, okay, and then you will see the breast is up here, and the spinal column's down here, and then you get this big bag, okay? Now, that big bag, if I have a look at it, there it is. Look at that. That's where your coelom is, right about inside there, right? So all the organs and the intestines and all of that is inside there, and that is your gap, right? If you look at humans, here it is as well. Here's a spinal column, right? Here's this big gap where we'll find our stomach, intestines, our livers, our hearts, all of that, right? And if I have a look at humans, there is the bag, this bag over here. That is the bag. It's nice and easy, okay? That's a complete hole, okay? All the organs are inside there, but that's a bag that covers it. Okay, so that is your coelom, which is quite cool. Coelom and its bag is inside there and it goes around the organs. It's got an inner lining. That's what makes it a true coelom, or makes this person and this chicken a coelomate. Okay, coelomates are cool. So don't stress too much about it, because you just need to know your big names and what they mean. Okay? Don't forget what makes it a true coelom. It's got an inner lining. Okay? Inner lining, very, very, very important. Okay? I hope you guys are sending in those questions. Ta?
No, there's a lot.
Oh, good.
They're
Good.
furiously posting.
Have you got any there for me? Let's hear what we've got.
Okay.
Just give me one.
We have one here from Tafua, who's also a regular. Hey, Tafua. She wanted to find out, what does the pseudo-coelomate consist of since it's false?
Okay, remember, the false means that it has got a coelom, but it doesn't have that inner lining. So let me go one more time back so that you can see what I mean again. Okay, remember, there's no blue lining over here. No blue lining whatsoever. And over here, it's got the blue lining. The blue lining means it's an inner lining. Okay, that's what makes it a true coelom. If it's got the inner lining, it's a true coelom. Okay, Ta, any other ones?
Yes, we have. Hold on. Yes, we have Silo, who's also a regular. Hey, Silo, how you doing? He wanted to find out. So, what about those that have one layer? Do we call them monoplastic?
Monoblastic.
Monoblastic.
They're never going to ask you that. They're going to ask, they normally talk about the two, which is your diploblastic and your triploblastic. The other ones they're going to look at is like your amoeba, which is normally your single-celled organisms. Okay, so it's a single cell. If you have a single cell around the whole thing, well, can't have a single. If you have cells around the whole thing, it's not going to work. You need space. You need things. So it's normally you get a single-celled organism, right, which is your amoeba. So the most non-complicated thing is your amoeba, right, and then you go get your diploblastics, and then you get your triploblastics. That's how it works. I hope that makes more sense.
All right.
Okay, we're going to go for a break. That's why I didn't want to go up any further, but we're going to go for a break, and when we come back, we'll carry on.
All right, no problem. So, mindset is, as you've seen, your questions do get answered, so make sure you post them. But on that note, we're going to see you after this break.